I did my research project on Women Athletes of France by Trevor Carlton. So to start out with, I'm going to give you a little bit of history of women athletes in France. So in the early 1900s, teachers of physical education strongly opposed the competition among women, fearing it will make them less feminine. This was when everybody was starting to allow women to try and do sports, and physical education teachers were scared that women would lose their, I guess, feminism because they did not want this to happen and for them to become like the men. Then in the 1900, the modern Olympic Games were held in Paris, France. This was when women were allowed to only play three sports: tennis, golf, and croquet. In 1910, the French Academy of Sports gave an award to Marie Marvin. For all sports, she is the most decorated athlete in French history, even cycling. She had 175 miles from France to Paris at the age of 86 years old. I don't know many people, even men, that can do that. In 1921, a French woman-led group held the International Games for Women, the Jeux Olympiques Féminines du Monde. 5 countries competed in this track and field and basketball, with a total of 300 women. The Games were only held for 2 more years after. In 1924, the first Winter Olympic Games were held in Chamonix, France. Women are only allowed to compete in figure skating in this Olympics. So this slide is going to show you the significance that sports plays a role in the society in France. Now, 64% of French people play a sport at least once a week. Over 16 million people belong to a sports club there. And this is from the French Ministry for Sport in 2017. Now, women made up 37.5% sports club members in 2015, 80% for winter sports. Females in 2016 were 48% of the top athletes in swimming and 39% in rugby. Female football, soccer, club members has increased 90% since 2011, and this is from the French Ministry for Sport 2017. Exercise, 91% of 15 to 29-year-olds exercise in the past 12 months. 46% participated in regular physical activity. In the economy, sports in France has contributed to household spending. Esports has contributed to video game sales, and betting on sports has contributed to the spending. So sports has helped their economy overall. So this is the background on France, the ethnicity, the language, and the religion that they follow in France. Now, the ethnicity, most people are of French descent. I mean, they're from the country, they're French people. But in recent years, immigration has made the non-French population grow very slowly. For the language, the official language is French, of course. For religion, they are primarily Catholic, and they have a small Muslim minority due to immigration from North and West Africa. And yep, this is all of their background on their ethnicity, language, and religion. So these are a few women that are athletes from France. To start out with, Sylvie Bicart is a French biathlete. She went to the 2003 World Championship and she won gold in the 7.5 kilometer sprint. And then she went on to the Pyeongchang World Championships and won gold in the mixed relay and bronze in the 4x6 kilometer relay. And for her Olympic medals, she won silver in Vancouver in 2010, and this was in the 4x6 kilometer relay. And then in 2006 in Turin, she won bronze with the 4x6 kilometer relay. And she's just a overall great athlete from France and knows how to win and She's won gold twice in the World Championships, and silver in the Olympics, and she is currently retired. Amelia Mauresmo is a French professional tennis player. Well, previously was a French professional tennis player. She retired in 2009, and just a list of some of her accomplishments. She went to the Grand Slam singles in the Australian Open. She won in 2006, and the French Open. She made it to the quarterfinals in 2003 and 2004, and the U.S. Open. She made it to the semifinals in 2002 and 2006, and her other victory was in 2006 at the Wimbledon. She won it. And she also had a successful career in Grand Slam doubles. And she went to the Australian Open, made it to the quarterfinals in 1999, the French Open, and made it to the second round in 1997 and 1998. And she made it to the finals at the Wimbledon in 2005 and went on to the U.S. Open in 1999 and made it to the third round. Now for her Olympic medals, she won the silver medal in tennis and singles in 2004 in Athens. So after she retired from her professional career, she went on to coach, and some notable names are Michael Luedra, Marion Bartoli, and also Andy Murray, the most famous of them all. And he was not recently, but he has been the number one player in recent years. And she coached him from June 2014 until May 2016. And she recently was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 2015. So she has a very accomplished career and has been honored by that, and will go down as one of tennis's greatest players and one of the best athletes from France. So on to the next athlete, Marion Josserine. She won bronze in 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and she won this in the ski cross, which I know doesn't sound like anything, but it is a race downhill, and you have to go through terrain or moguls that are natural occurring or artificial, and big jumps. But the difference in this and freestyle skiing is that there are other competitors going down at the same time, and any type of intentional contact is disqualification. So yeah, I think personally that is harder than freestyle because you have multiple athletes coming down the hill at the same time, and that can cause many problems. I know personally from skiing that having other people makes things complicated sometimes when you're trying to go fast. But anyways, she also had no medals at the 2014 Olympics, and you should look for her in the next Winter Olympics. She will be back, and hopefully she will win a medal this time. She's a great athlete from France, and represents women very well. So earlier in the PowerPoint, I named Marie Marvin. She is she is actually the greatest athlete from France. From the information I looked up and everything, she outdoes everyone, even men included. There's no one better than her. I mean, she's done so much for the world, not only women, but everyone. She was a cyclist, and like I said, so much more. She was one of the women that did not listen to everyone else. When they told her no, that meant I'm going to go further and do better than you. So in 1908, they denied her entry into the Tour de France. This didn't deter her. She went on and finished the Tour de France, not in the race with the men, but she finished it on her own, did the whole thing, and many people didn't even finish the race like men. and she finished on her own, didn't need any help, and she just did it. I mean, she wasn't even getting an award. Like, she was not even competing for a medal, nothing, no, nothing. And she did this out of her own will, wanting to, and just to show everyone. And she did. She's won awards in over 10 different sports. She climbed major peaks in the Alps. She piloted hot air balloons across the English Channel and the North Sea. And the most interesting thing I came across was she actually fought on the front lines in France during World War II. But she got revealed as a woman. Someone found out, and so then she became a Red Cross nurse so that she could help with the war. Even if she wasn't getting to fight, she was going to help in some type of way. So she also was the third woman to gain her airplane pilot license, and she set numerous records flying. She flew aerial combat during the war. She had the idea for the airlift that we know today, life flight, with the helicopters. She came up with this idea, and in her old age, even she gained her helicopter pilot license at 80 years old. That to me is just that's crazy. And then she cycled 175 miles from Nancy to Paris at 86 years old. And I said that previously, but I just thought that's a feat that I've never heard of. I mean, 86 years old, that's really old. But overall, the greatest athlete from France, and I had no idea about her until I did this project, and I'm very happy to know and learn about her. Great woman.